Our co-founder Father Leopold says, saints were always joyful and pleasant. Our Saint Little Flower had deep faith in God, and she never wavered in her faith, and she was very joyful. Her amazing faith enduring despite losing her mother when she was 4 years old. Her deep faith in God led her to keep her trust in Jesus and inspire and forgive others very quickly. This faith and trust led her to keep peace in those around her and in all her circumstances. The simplicity of love brings with it simplicity of faith, for the child who loves keeps trust in the word of his father. Saint Little Flower never stopped to believe because she never stopped to love Jesus. This love led her to keep her faith so simple, made her confidence also very simple. In our religious life, we need 3 weapons. They are faith, prayer, and love. Faith in God leads us to prayer, that is conversation with God. This prayer surely will lead us to love, that is unconditional love towards God and our fellow brethren. That's why she says, my strength lies in prayer and sacrifice, because they are invincible weapons through which I can touch the hearts of the people. Thank you.
Humility is an acknowledgement of our own talents and gifts, abilities given from God. It is not a weakness or fear, but it is an indication that we know where our true strength lies. According to Saint Little Flower, through her life she reveals us that a true humility is a deep awareness of who we are in relation to the one who created us. And she writes, as we are living now in the age of inventions, we no longer have to take trouble even to climb the steps, because in the houses of the riches there is an elevator replaced it successfully. And she says, I wanted to find an elevator which would raise me up to Jesus, for I am so small, to grow in the rough stairway of perfection. And she finds in the scriptures, as Jesus says, whoever a little one, let them come to me. By believing these words, she was succeeded in her life. Saint Little Flower was not only quick to admit her own limitations and failures, but also quick to accept the mercy of God. She knew that she was not perfect to reach heaven by her own accord. And she says, even she believed in God and desired to remain with Him by realizing that being a little is not a weakness but a strength. And she also says she took in her life all the opportunities in a humble way, even the washing of the dishes or speaking to someone whose character she disliked or whomever she find difficult to deal with. She shared her love to the community, especially to God. And we can see in her life there are many times she did many things in a humble way with great love for God. She accepted God's will and God's great love in her life, which made her to reach this heights of perfection. Let's also take this saint in our life that we may grow in true humility.
Love is repaid by love alone. The boundless love of God is one of the outstanding virtue of Saint Little Flower. Yes, Saint Little Flower practiced the virtue of love throughout her life. She stored to show her love not by great or heroic things, but by little actions for God and her sisters. She surrendered herself completely to the everlasting love of God. She learned to do all things with great love. She used to say, merit does not consist in doing great things, but doing small things with great love.
Saint Teresa of Child Jesus explained her obedience, the readiness to accept the will of Jesus, by placing herself as a little clay ball in the hands of Jesus. Jesus plays with this little ball. Throw it away, kick me to the corner, cut me into pieces. Check what is inside. Sometimes embraces and kisses the ball. The reply of the Saint Therese of Jesus was, "My Jesus, you can do whatever you want, as you want, when you want, as long you want." Obedience well lived frees us from selfishness and pride. Saint Teresa says, "Remember, every little act of disobedience weakens my spiritual life."
Saint Teresa was deeply moved by the Bible word. Matthew 25:34-36. I was hungry, you fed me. I was thirsty, you filled me. I was a stranger, you took me. For Saint Therese, true charity consists in bearing the neighbor with all their defects, touching them in their weaknesses, lifting them in their falling, and in being edified by least of their virtues. True charity cannot remain shut up in the depths of the heart, but its fruits gushes forth to the reach out to the needy. Saint Teresa firmly believed the words said in Proverbs 10:12, "Charity covers a multitude of sins." Practicing the virtue of charity is not at all easy unless we are firmly rooted in faith. A person who is enveloped in the love of God only can be a charitable person.
Once, Mother Agnes asked Saint Therese, "What is the little way?" And Saint Therese answered, "It is the way of spiritual childhood, the way of trust and absolute self-surrender." Saint Therese put her whole trust in the Lord, in all her pains, sufferings, and spiritual dryness. She says, "I do not count on my own merits, since I have none, but I trust in Him, who is virtue and sanctity itself." She again says, "When with a truly filial confidence we cast all our faults into the consuming furnace of love, they will for certain be entirely consumed." Yes, she had that confidence in God, like a small child who put her whole trust in her dearly beloved Father. Let's also intercede to our dear Saint for the grace to grow in complete trust and to put our whole confidence in God.